dominion and control over the entire world as the Lord had created this thing for us. Right? Read.
Verse 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people I am hurt.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people. This is what God is telling the prophet Jeremiah. For the hurt of the children of Israel. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, God said he's hurt. And we don't want to continue to have this hurt. We don't want to have to continue to suffer the things we're going through. We want true liberation and true freedom, and we're going to receive that through who the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Everybody repeat after me. Call on. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. That's all praises to the Most High God up and now with Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahushua. We the Israelites come out here week in and week out to let our people know what's going on in the world and to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America, right? We out here celebrating Juneteenth. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful people out here. I love to see us all gathered around together, but guess what? The work don't stop. The work don't stop. We understand Juneteenth is the day that a certain piece of information made it to a certain location about our freedom, right? But guess what? Our freedom has yet to come. Because still in a place where we were supposed to be free, we're being gunned down in the street. We're still being raped, robbed, and murdered, both physically and mentally. All right, we're being mistreated, we're being misused and abused in this place. So how is this a place of our freedom? We're supposed to gather around and recognize the progress we're making, but we just have to recognize that we are not done. Right? Give me that in Isaiah, the summer is past, in Jeremiah 8 and 20. Right? How we're not saved yet. Because we have to understand, coming out here and celebrating, like I said, is cool, but it's giving too much credit unto our oppressor. We're giving too much credit to the man that just up and said one day, you know what, I'll finally let you off of a plantation. That's not enough for us. You want to know why? Because there's a debt out there that has not been paid. There's a whole bunch of rape that has not been paid back. There's a whole bunch of murder that has not been paid back. There's a whole bunch of free labor that has not been paid back. You don't just get off scot-free because you let us off of a plantation. And as quiet as it's kept, we was already on our way off of that plantation by our own hand anyway. Bring that out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8 and verse 20.
Read up. Read up. Bring it out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8 and verse 20. The harvest is past. The summer is ended.
It says the harvest is past and the summer is ended. Right? We in the summer right now. This summer is going to come and it's going to go. This event is going to come and it's going to go. And then we're going to have to return right back to the New Age plantation on Tuesday. Some of us got to go back to the New Age plantation tomorrow. You know why? Because we are not saved in this place. We've been let off a plantation, a physical plantation, just to be turned and forced into another plantation where you got to go and put 40 hours a weekend but get paid for 20. Right? Something called taxes. Something called federal taxes. Then you got to pay for Medi-Cal. Then you got to pay what they say, Sally Mae. You got to pay everybody before you get your money. How dare they? Bring it out.
Come on. The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved.
And we not saved yet. Because you know why? Our salvation is going to come by a powerful black man that people commonly know as Jesus Christ. But we understand his true name, his biblical Paleo-Hebrew name is Yahushua. And we understand it when we go into the scripture. Give me that Revelations, the first chapter. Because a lot of times, get Caesar. Where's Caesar at? Somebody pick Caesar up real quick. This is something that we got on the plantation, and when we was free, we never let it go. We never let this image go, but we got this, and this was forced on us on plantations. So why do we still hold on to this, but then we come out here and celebrate our freedom? We got to have some consistency, and we got to recognize, like I said, the job isn't done. Bring it out.
You want verse 1 or just straight to the
Read verse 1, and then we go to the point. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
Read it verbatim, Hawk. Go ahead.
Of Jesus Christ.
Read it from the top.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So when we get into the book of Revelation, it's talking about the revealing, right? The revelation, the revealing of who the world calls Jesus Christ. Let's see what it says. Read.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
And that's the same spirit on us. We are coming out here telling you guys the thing that are surely and surely going to come to pass, right? Something called a third world war, right? That's going to touch the soil of America. And we have to come into the understanding of who we are, that the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the true Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people that you read about in the Bible. Right. According to history, archaeology, and prophecy. Right? Once we understand that, that's when the summer's going to come. That's when the harvest is going to pass. And you know when the harvest is going to pass? The Lord, who the world calls Jesus Christ, is going to come and gather up the wheat. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to separate us from the tares, all of the wicked people. And that's when he's going to deliver us from this hellhole and this captivity that we're in. That's going to be the true freedom. That's going to be the true Juneteenth. Bring it out.
By his angel unto his servant John.
Let's get to the description of who the world called Jesus Christ. Read.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So it's describing a man likened unto the Son of Man. He was a human being. He had a body, right? He had a mother and a father, right? He came through the matrix, or he came through the womb, right? He was raised up as a baby. He wasn't on no formula. He wasn't on no Similac. None of that. He was weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, just like us. This is the Son of Man that this description of this person is likened to. Read.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So it says he had a garment down to his foot and a girdle about his paps, his hip region. It says he had a golden girdle on. This is the vision that was given to John the Revelator you read about in the Bible. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. They're talking about his beard and the head on his head. White like wool, right? In texture. Go ahead. This man, you got Caesar? This man don't have woolly hair. And it damn sure ain't white. Read.
As white as snow.
And then it describes the color as white as snow. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Why is this description that's been shoved and forced on us for so long doesn't meet the description that we read about in the Bible? Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
It says in his feet was likened unto fine brass. Who do you know has fine brass feet? Brother, what color would you say your feet or your arms is? Would you say it's likened unto fine brass? That damn sure ain't that guy right there. Bring it out.
As if they burned in a furnace.
It says as if they burn in a furnace. So if you take fine brass and then you burn it, would you say that it would look the color like you, brother? Guess what? It's saying the world called Jesus Christ look just like your color. All right? One of the greatest men ever walked the planet Earth. Bring it out.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
It says, and he had a loud voice. His voice was the sound of many waters, right? Because he was able to prophesy and speak into a multitude of people without an amplifying device like this. But he was still able to deliver this message and get the people to understand. He has such a big multitude. He used to have to carry himself out into the midst of the water and speak to the people upon the seashore. Right? Go back to that in Jeremiah. Go ahead. You had Ezekiel? That's fine. You got Ezekiel? Bring it out.
Back in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 20. The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved.
The harvest is past and the summer is ended and we're not saved. So when we going to receive that true salvation? Do you know the reason why we had to switch the location to Liberty Station instead of having it at Ski Beach like we done had it the last 2 years? Because of a whole bunch of corrupt laws and statutes and codes that we choose to follow instead of following the law, statutes, and commandments of God. That's right. Right? That if we follow, that we will reap the benefits and have possession and dominion and control over the entire world as the Lord had created this thing for us. Right? Read.
Verse 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people I am hurt.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people. This is what God is telling the prophet Jeremiah. For the hurt of the children of Israel, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, God said he's hurt. And we don't want to continue to have this hurt. We don't want to have to continue to suffer the things we're going through. We want true liberation and true freedom, and we're going to receive that through who the world calls Jesus Christ.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So we read earlier, if you do listen, I'll set thee on high. But what's going to happen if you don't listen? Right? Read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
We got to do all of them. Sometimes we have a situation where it's like, I like this here, but I don't like that there. No, we got to do all of it in totality, right? If you don't hearken and do all of the law, statutes, and commandments, what's going to happen? Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when you look at the African Americans, especially the history of us in this place, would you say that we've been blessed?